Jarrad, can you tell us about the 4 inclusions and Jack Darling in particular?
Well, he's been out for a couple of weeks, stating the obvious, and we're thinking he can add to our team is where we fell short last week. With his contest and pressure work, he's been training really well. When he went out of the side, there were some things in his game he had to work on. He's done that over the last 2 weeks. Had a waffle game, did it well at training. So, he comes in, and we're expecting him to play his role. The other ones, obviously Waterman and Yo come back in. Unfortunately, McGovern doesn't get up. So we'll didn't get through his test this morning, and we'll hopefully get him right for next week.
So who will come in for McGovern then?
Well, Petruccelli comes into the 23, and then we'll decide how that all unfolds.
Just missing McGovern, how big a blow is that?
Oh, yeah, obviously he's a quality player, and he would have been handy to have against their 3 tools that they've got up front. But gives another player an opportunity.
Was he close?
Yeah, he was close. Gov's pretty tough, as we all know. For him to want to go sort of take it to the line, we sort of had to take it out of his hands a little bit in the end, but he just wasn't right, and it's not fair for him to go out there. Tom Barassa's 150th game, he would have loved to have been out there with his partner in crime, but at the end of the day, he wasn't right.
So you've said before that this last 6 or 7 weeks is going to be largely about this exploration. There's a balance there, isn't there, with someone like Jack? How do you strike that balance to fit him back in?
Well, as we're doing it this week. He's been out for 2 weeks. 293 gamer to have that conversation 2 weeks ago was tough. We've just seen it with Brad Scott, with Dyson Heppel. They're tough decisions, but he's gone about it the right way. We want to find the balance between the exploration part around our youth and our list, and also we want to win games of football and we want to compete. And we think he can help. Jack Williams down there as well, and he can help our side this week.
Jarrad, people would say this is your grand final, the one game that's going to matter a little bit more than the others. What would you say to that?
I would say that it's another opportunity for us to get better. I think I said it last night. You get to get excited about derbies. I've been a part of 2. I've been a part of the showdown in Adelaide, the derbies, and I think it's a great opportunity for our young players to be exposed to this environment. There's a little bit more in it because 2 WA teams going at it, but it's not our grand final. It's definitely, we haven't talked about that. It's about us getting better from last week, where we let ourselves down, and once again we get a great opportunity to expose our young fellas and our senior players to lead.
Jarrad, do you talk about what happened in round 6?
Once again, we go back and we look at that, and it was one of our few wins for the season. So we've been mad not to go back and look at what we did well, but we also understand that Freo are a better side than what they produced on that night. They've been playing some really solid football, but we know the areas that we need to get right for ourselves. You always got to look back on that and give affirmation to our players of what we did well, and that's what we've done, but we understand where we're at as well and how we need to be better from last week.
Jarrad, can you stretch them a bit in attack with Alex out?
As Joe just said, they've got Draper in, so they've... I don't think we can stretch them. We'll definitely try and get our players to play to their strengths. With Jack Darling in, as I said, he plays a role for us. We've got Oscar Allen, Jakey Waterman back in. So we just want them to focus on us. There'll be some strategy behind it, but we don't want to go getting too funky with it. There's things that you can implement, but I'm not going to put them on the table now either. So.
Your form line says that when your team plays at home in front of a big crowd, they get great energy off the crowd and they produce strong performance. And when you haven't got that, or you're away, they don't have that energy. How do you manufacture that energy when you're on the ground, but with a crowd that's not going to like you?
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? How many supporters are we allowed to have in the ground? I don't know. So we'll need them cheering as loud as they can. You're right. We have performed in front of our home crowd really well, but being home, but at the end of the day, we got to be, like I keep saying, we got to be better, and it's about getting consistent in what we do, and we get the opportunity to do that here in a quality game.
Jarrad, previously you've used Alex Witherden as sort of that third tall, or to take a tall defender, play above his height. Without him this weekend and out McGovern, how do you look to handle the 3 tools you spoke about before?
Like you said, someone will have to size up and play a little bit taller. Brady Hoff can play taller. But we've got some options. I keep mentioning about Jack Darling and his role, so we'll see what happens there.
So there's a chance you could swing Darling back.
Oh, I don't know.
Tom Barras plays game 150 this week.
Yeah, 150. Jakey Wardham's 100. So really looking forward to those gentlemen. Reach their milestones and play well, and we acknowledged them this morning. Their wonderful service for our footy club, and I think any milestone game, whether it's a 50 game or a 100 game or 150, 300, I think they've got to be acknowledged. And we're hoping that our guys really produce the football that they deserve.
Bit outside noise around Tom Barras and his future. How's he handling that in the lead up to this game?
Seems pretty focused on playing tomorrow night. He's a quality person and he's committed to playing good football for the footy club. That's all I can tell you.
Jarrad, those tall blokes that have come in, do you expect them to spend a bit of time in the ruck to help out Bailey? It's a big job taking on Luke and Sean.
Yeah, we've been using Jack Williams doing that. We've got options there.
How close was Matt Flynn?
Matt Flynn, we're just glad that he's back playing. He'll play, I think, about 90 minutes in the Waffle. It's just great to have him back playing. He's had obviously a wretched run with injuries this year, and for him, it's about just getting continuity with his football, and so he'll play about 90 minutes with the Waffle.
Jarrad, you talked about forward half pressure, but it couldn't have got much worse last week. Has that been one of the key focuses for you this week?
Definitely. When you don't have a tackle in your forward 50, it's pretty evident you need to go to work on it. But there's method behind that. You've got to get field position, that we talk about, stoppage, centre bounce, and then how you defend behind that. And we just didn't execute that last week. And when we play well, it's the key to our game, like all teams.
Jarrad, you've gone for a very tall side. Are you concerned you might be too tall?
Not really. Tall is interesting. We say tall. Young Hutchison, I think he's 190 centimetres. JD's 191, if that's what we're referring to. So I wouldn't say we're tall, but it's also what that person can bring. And obviously, I don't think we are tall. We want our talls to play at ground level, like Jake Wardham. He can obviously move at ground level too, even though he's been clunking him in the air. He's had a fantastic year. But no, I don't think we're too tall at all.
And just for both of you, you both had long football journeys. What's the relationship been like between you both over the years? Just across the paths and between you two.
Well, hardly spoken because we do have mutual friends, but we might be enemies. No. Look, we've had time across our football careers, but not too much communication. Like, this is my first little presser in the Derby, so just getting used to this, easy experience. So we'll get some advice probably after the game.
Do you remember each other as teammates?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cross.
Not that old.
Haven't been in the job long enough.
Jarrad, you saw Fremantle play last week. What did you see?
Very sharp football side. Their shape on the ground. They had all phases of the game going really, but they were just really honest in the contest. Their ability, obviously, get speed off contests. Back to the contest part, they really beat up Melbourne, and it started with stoppage. The damn walls are broken when you're 14 zip. They had it stoppage. They were very clinical, so they're sharp. They were, I think they got about 4 or 5 goals out against Hawthorn down in Tasmania, and that says a lot too. So they're in some form, and it was a great challenge and great opportunity for us to test ourselves and get better from last week once again.